Ugh. Okay. Hello, everybody. How you doing? I hope. Oh crap! Yeah, that's in there. Okay, fine. Whatever. Let it go. And we just go on with the go on, and we keep on keeping on with the onness of keeping on. So, and let's see. Once that catches up, we'll see that that has got me looking like Ziggy. And we've at least covered up the bullet holes on the wall, but I still don't want to look like Ziggy. So I'm going to bring this down just a tad and hope that all lands wonderfully from sea to shining sea, all around the world. My new Gina Carano t-shirt, and we're just down the eyeball, so that's not going to work. Let's go here. And eventually the time will come that I acquire one of those nifty Nito torpedo camera things that just lets me sit things where I want them to be. But for right now, hey, we're working off the laptop, and that's just the way it's gotta be. Me love you a long time. I appreciate you for putting up with it. And speaking of putting up with it, let's go ahead and go on and get down to it, as we say. Oh, Lord. Hello. This is your friendly neighborhood growth hacker, Rhapsody Barrero, the Reverend Dr. Rhapsody. Just so really glad to see you today. Really glad. I just went through a thing. I had a procedure done last week, and for the last week, I've been basically in withdrawal. Not fun. For those who don't know, I've been clean and sober for 36 years plus, 36 years going on. And so I'm a little indisposed when it comes to having to have anesthesia. But if they're working on your eyeball, you want them to give you anesthesia. They just don't warn you ahead of time that anesthesia is something you're going to have to withdraw from, come down off of. And it's one of those things where, like, I reflect back to a time, there was a time when I actually paid money to feel like this. And we've passed that time, and now it's just an inconvenience. Anyway, so I was spiritually thrown off, we'll say, and I'm spiritually back on the beam, so to say. No, there wasn't any return to extracurricular chemical activities or any nonsense like that. I was just withdrawing from the anesthesia. So, hey, that's just the way it happened to have to be, and so be it, and it's all gravy. Again, thank you so much for coming along. I greatly appreciate you for being here, and I'm so happy, slappy, to have you be here to join along for today's excursion into the wonderful world of relief from limiting beliefs. Yes, today we're going to be addressing those of you who have a fear of confrontation. Some people have a really strong fear of confrontation. I, as a former Marine, it's like they beat that right out of you. Like, I don't care. It's like, if you're coming at me wrong, I'm going to say, hey, you're coming at me wrong, and that's not going to fly. But that's me. And then there's other people who haven't had the joy in the splendor and the wonder of experiencing Marine Corps boot camp in Parris Island, South Carolina, who might not have had that drilled into them or drilled out of them, so to speak. So today we're going to get into one of my most favorite processes known to man. It's just a beautiful thing. So, all right, let's go. Ramandura. So we're going to start out by unpacking. So right now, first question of unpacking is, what would you like? So we're moving under the premise that you would like to be able to comfortably confront people. We're not talking about, holding a bat behind your back to cause them to be unconscious if they disagree with you. We're just talking about leisurely, calmly, reservedly, like rational adults discussing a disagreement. That's all we're doing. We're just talking. Nobody's putting hands on anyone. Nobody's choking anyone out. Nobody's waiting outside of anyone's house to try and hit them with their car. None of that. We're just having a casual, rational conversation about whatever's going on that you feel the need to address. So, all right. So we're shooting after being free of the tension and free of the discomfort of having a confrontation. So how does that feel? You're finally in a place where somebody can do something that comes at you crossways, and you just calmly refer to them and say, hey, I didn't appreciate that. I don't think that was very nice. Would you do that to your mommy? Probably not. Would you do that to your little girl, your little boy? Probably not. And after they've come to their senses, they'll likely say, okay, I really apologize. I was having a bad day. I misdirected on you. And if they even know what that is. And it had nothing to do with you, and I apologize. And that'll probably be the end of it. Yeah. So it feels pretty good, huh? Yeah, it feels pretty good. And again, I'm going to get this if it kills me. I forgot to have you close your eyes. You were supposed to have your eyes closed for that, but okay, we're opening eyes now. And I'm going to do better. I'm going to do better. Let's see, what's a good way to do better? How about let's see, make a space, and hopefully that will help. All right, so what's it like now? When you think about having a confrontation, do you imagine that the other person has a bat behind their back trying to whack you into unconsciousness for bringing attention to their poor behavior? Do you maybe just feel a little vibration down in your heart, a little flutter in your heart, where it's all it is your croc brain that just wants to keep you alive, that's trying to keep you safe. So it's saying, we don't need to make this confrontation. We want to stay alive. We can live with whatever foolishness has come our way. All right. So how does that feel? Not really good. It's like you feel like you're a lesser version of yourself because this is an adult and you're an adult. And you just feel like you shouldn't even have to be dealing with this as one rational adult to another. But that's just not always the way it is. All right. So, what would someone have to believe to create that experience? What else would someone have to believe to create that experience? What lets you know that that belief is true? What would someone have to think in order for that belief to be true? What would someone have to feel in order for that belief to be true? Okay. So let's take all of the resistance, all of the discomfort that we're feeling regarding confrontation, throw it in a ball, and think to ourselves between 0 and 10, what is our resistance level? I'd like for you to write that down because we'll need to address that later. Okay. So what we're going to do looks a little something like this. So we're going to say that on this side of the world, here, there is the unwanted. In this case, we're talking about confrontation. And this, whoops, hold on. Let's get this clear. All right, get back over there, do that. And on this side of the world, we have the wanted. In this case, oops, hold on. I've lost myself. I hope to find myself very soon. Okay, I found myself. Good. Okay, we've got the wanted on this side. And on this side, we have no confrontation. So, and at the end of the day, our ultimate goal is to get to this spot right here in the middle that we call, come on, work with me. This place here in the middle that we call, it's like, well, it's one of two things, or you can call it both, either way. It's the home of the desire-free zone, otherwise known as the Wizard's Gate, where we have grown to a point where we have the same feeling for the unwanted as we have for the wanted. And from there, from the Wizard's Gate, we can just stroll on in to whatever we want. It's that Simple. And let's see, how do we get back to, oh, yeah, that's what we do. Where do I want to leave that? Well, I showed it to you, so we can get rid of it. All right. So, so now, all right, we're back to where we need to be. And if you would please close your eyes. So we are shooting for the true choice or the wanted circumstance of no confrontation. All right. And what does that feel like? I mean, sure, there's inconvenient things going on around you, but you're not confronting them. So it's not having any effect on you. It's a little uncomfortable, but not nearly as uncomfortable as the confrontation would be. So you're at peace with it. You're fine with it. It's okay. It's okay. But just okay. Like there's probably a 5-year-old inside of you that wishes you would make the confrontation, but the grown-up you that has to show up for family, that has to pay bills, that has to show up for work, it doesn't have time for that confrontation. Even if, and especially if it's a confrontation regarding work, then you're like, I can't have confrontation at work. I might lose my job. And then where would I be? I'd be out on the street. My family would be out on the street. That wouldn't be fun. Just to stand on principle. Great. I'm a principled guy with myself, or I'm a principled girl with myself and my family on the street because I took a stand. It's not for everybody. Anyway. Okay. Focus. So, back to the current reality, or the result we're resisting. It's really the unwanted, which is the confrontation. Feel that. Where do you feel it in your body? Describe it. Describe what it feels like. And now, if you would please, open your eyes. So notice something. When you focused on the undesirable result, when you focused on the confrontation, did your focus change the situation? Did it make it smaller? Did it make it bigger? Just a thought. Just a thought. And now, if you would please, on to the fun stuff. If you would please, close your eyes. So, right now, we're going to focus on the unwanted. We're going to focus on confrontation. As bad as you don't want to be confronting anybody about anything, focus on it. And think for a minute. If you think about it, if you think really hard, can you find advantages to confrontation? You can find advantages, can't you, if you think real hard? Of course you can. So, I mean, just off the top of my head, advantages to confrontation. You get to take care of whatever the situation was, or you get to at least address it. If you can't even get the situation changed, you at least address it so that the little you inside your heart, the little you that is uncomfortable with the whole idea, it knows that you have its back. I don't know about you, but to me, that means a lot. To me, it means a whole lot. That's just one example. So think about it. What other advantages can you find to confrontation? All right. So let's pull away from that for a little bit now. And now we'll focus on the wanted, on the no confrontation. Roll around in that for a minute. Now, if you think really hard, what could be some of the disadvantages of getting what you want or having no confrontation? I know for me, one of the disadvantages would be whatever brought about the need for the confrontation will continue going on. It'll feel like forever. And it's something that just came to me. It's amazing that mostly it's fear coming from us that we don't want to have confrontation. And sometimes the person that we're having the confrontation with don't even realize that they're doing something that irks us to the core of our being. They might just be trying to be funny. They might just be overly involved in their own life mentally and they're just not paying attention. It could be anything. So, more on that. What could be some more of the disadvantages of having no confrontation? Now, the juicy part. Now I want you to feel the unwanted outcome, the confrontation. Feel it. And while you're feeling that, also feel the lack of confrontation. What does that feel like? So now, while feeling both of these outcomes, the undesired and the desired, the unwanted and the wanted, the confrontation and the lack of confrontation, add all other possible outcomes and accept them all as possible. And now, having looked at all other possible outcomes and accepting them all as possible, choose the one you want. Feel into it with your body. Where do you feel it? What does it feel like? Deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Oh, just let it go, 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 let it go. One more time. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Oh, relax your whole body. Oh, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. And now, whenever you're ready, no rush whatsoever, open your eyes and return to the conversation. And I only have 2 questions for you. First of all, how are you feeling? Feels good, right? Absolutely. So now we know where you started because you wrote it down. We know where your resistance level was because you wrote it down. So what's your resistance level now? All right. Great. Next and last question. What is your next aligned action? What have you been not confronting that has been driving you crazy that you need to confront in order to have peace and sanity in your life? You don't have to do it straight away. You could. If it's something that has to happen tomorrow, you might want to start the day with a meditation if you don't meditate already. An easy meditation, just sit somewhere and listen to the sound of your breathing. Do that for like 5 minutes. And then go address the situation that needs to be addressed from the position of accepting all of the possibilities of what could happen and just choosing what you want. Good stuff, huh? Yeah, I know. All right, so if you are feeling really good after going through this process, I beckon you to click in the chat or click in the description, find the link to buy.transformationsrus.com and make your way over there. Look through the options, find the one that you're most comfortable with. And I look forward to working with you. Again, I appreciate your time. I thank you for spending time with me today. And I look forward to working with you very, very, very soon. Enjoy the remainder of your day. Love to you and the family. And we'll see you around. Bye-bye, everybody.